Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Shield.com. Podcasting and streaming worldwide. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we're going to talk to Pro-Am's John Lawson, who's at Barber Motorsports Park outside Birmingham, Alabama.
Ooh-wee.
Big race there. Jeff has this week's cruise-ins. And we'll also have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us on our live broadcast here on Saturday morning. If you're listening on a podcast, thanks for doing that as well. We appreciate you. Now, going right over to Birmingham, Alabama, right outside of Birmingham. Yep, from Pro-Am Auto Accessories, it is John Lawson. Look at John.
Look at John.
Looking sharp. Hey, man. How's the weather?
See me?
Yeah, we can see you just fine. So how are things in Birmingham? How's the weather in Birmingham today?
Well, it's pretty damp and miserable, to be honest. Yesterday, it rained the entire day during practice.
Oh, wow.
So practice was pretty much a washout all day long. But
So
today, it's a little better. It's not actively raining.
So
but it's cold.
what race is it that you are going to see there today?
Well, we are competing in the World Racing League's second event of the 24 season here at Barber Motorsports Park. Today is an 8-hour endurance race, and tomorrow is a 7-hour endurance race.
Wow.
So it looks like we just went under yellow for something. You can see the cars going slower behind me here, it looks like. So
Well, they put them on caution so they could watch the show.
maybe so. Yeah, maybe so.
So what kind of cars are in the World Racing League?
Okay, so these are endurance road racing cars. Most of them are all production-based cars. Some of them are factory-built race cars from BMW, Mercedes, Porsche 911s, Cayman GT4s. We've got the team we're driving with this weekend. We are running a V8 M3 BMW. It's about a 2012 model car. And it's a lot of fun. It has the paddle shift transmission in it and plenty of power, so it's a hoot.
What's the top speed that you get on that? Because that's a road course. What's the top speed?
Yeah, it's a road course. Here at this track, I think that car that we're driving will reach about 125, 130.
Wow.
The straights are not exceedingly long here. But like at Daytona, this same car will run 175.
Oh, my.
We run it at Daytona.
Yeah. And you say it's got
it's a lot of fun.
a paddle shifted automatic. How many speeds?
It's a 7-speed.
A 7 speed.
Speeds. And, it's about 420 horsepower, I think. Actually, I think we have it dialed down a little bit for this race because of the classes that we're in. We're kind of competing in not the top class, but the second one down. What they call GP1. So
Now, they race several classes in the same race, do they not?
right, yeah. There's actually 5 classes out here today. The top class is called GTO. That's for basically the factory built race cars that you can get, like a GT4 car that you would see in IMSA or FIA racing. Really fancy stuff, big time teams and such. A lot of professional drivers actually come to these races for practice, essentially, in these cars. At Dakota race last December, we had several of the NASCAR drivers competing in this series so that they could get track time at COTA before the NASCAR races. But we've also got various classes based on power to weight. Our class, I think, is a 10-to-1 pounds to horsepower class. Then we've got a few that are below that are a little bit lighter weight, like Miatas and BMW 3 Series cars. There's one Corvette out here, Don. I know you're a Corvette guy, so there is one out here competing in the top class.
One. That's great.
That's the one that brought out the caution.
That's the one that brought out the caution.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's it. It's broken down because of its electronics and bad seats, John.
Weather.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. Well, we don't have to worry about that because we got our new Carbo seats from Pro-Am Auto Accessories.
John, I haven't seen him yet. I haven't been over here to see it, but when the show's over, I'm going to go sit in it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah, you need to let Don take you for a ride in it. Those
no.
Really glad we did those.
Yeah, he won't go in a ride with me. He's scared. So
I get scared.
He does get scared. So now, are you actually going to drive this car that you work on?
Yes. So we're actually I'm not working on it. I'm a driver this weekend only. So that's great. My team here consists of, there's 5 of us that are driving this car over the weekend. In fact, let me pan around here. I'll show you because our pit is right below me. So hold on one second. Let me flip this around.
There you go.
Okay. So the green tent there, we are racing with a group out of Florida called Open Throttle Racing. They've actually brought 5 cars and have 5 teams here this weekend.
Wow.
So there's a gaggle of drivers. They brought 2 cars that are the M3s, like what I'm driving is one of the M3s, and then there's another team with another M3 that's identical. And then there are 3 other BMW like 330i's based on the older E46 chassis car, which is a super reliable race car in the little bit slower class, what they call GP3. And so they're supporting 5 cars, these guys. And my team that I've raced with for years and years, we basically rented one of those cars for this weekend. So I will be driving probably around noon to 1:30 or 2 o'clock, depending on how things go. I'm hoping that the weather improves significantly by then, but we'll just have to see.
Is the track wet, John?
Yes. Yesterday it was horrible. I went out for about 15 minutes and decided I'd had enough. That there wasn't anything to be gained learning the track in the absolutely pouring conditions.
Well,
but today it's at least not raining actively, but the track is slick still.
So since
my driver that's out there now, he reported initially that. I'm sorry.
No, that's what I was going to ask you. If the car was on the track now.
Yeah, it's out there right now. Let me see if I can find it. Looks like everybody's back up to speed again.
They got the Corvette off the track.
Let's see. I don't see him right now.
John, while you're looking for it, I wanted to ask you: are the BMWs, this team that you're renting the car from, are those BMWs? Do they go through these engines, or are the engines modified and then pretty much very reliable? They don't have to really rebuild them or something.
We basically keep the engine stock. There's our car right there.
The blue one.
The green one was bright green.
Okay. Well,
he's going to come back around left to right here in a second. But no, these BMWs are extremely reliable race cars as long as you keep them pretty close to stock. So the V8 car that we've got, it just has a tune actually to knock down the top speed and the highest horsepower. So it may only be putting out 370 horsepower right now. There he is. The green car. You see the green one?
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's you.
Anyway, that's my teammate Neil. We have one guy from England that's driving with us, and that's him. We figured he would be best to start in the damp and wet conditions because that's what he's used to.
Yeah, that's right. Either that or you're just trying to torture him. Comes to the United States to drive in the same weather he's got over there.
They don't use rain tires when you've got some moisture on the track. They're all slick tires?
Well, no, none of these are slicks. Actually, the series rules require that we run a 200 treadwear street tire. So all these tires on the cars the whole weekend are actually street legal tires. They're kind of a softer compound, but they're developed to do this by all the tire companies. So Yokohama, Kumo, all these companies, they run these tires the entire weekend, whether it's raining or dry.
Yeah, sticky compound when they get wet.
What brand tire are you running on your car?
This morning we have Continentals. So Continental has come out with a good tire that really works well in all conditions. So that's what we're going with today because we're expecting it to continue to get drier and drier. and hopefully, faster and faster. So we'll just have to see.
Continental
long day.
contact.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when did this event start? Yesterday?
The whole event, started yesterday. Was practice and qualifying all day. Today is the first race all day today. It ends at 5:00 this afternoon. And then tomorrow morning, the race begins at 8 a.m. and runs until 4.
Wow.
So we'll have two full days of racing, hopefully.
So when you rent the car, and you need to come in
There's
for
the Corvette.
yeah. Well, they didn't wreck it after all. So when you rent the car, John, when you rent the car, do you also have to supply fuel and tires for the car, or is that supplied for you?
That's supplied for us. Those come with the rental agreement, I guess.
I got you.
So you're really, truly a driver. You're just there to drive.
Arrive and drive, basically. Yeah, that's what they call it. So
How many stops do you have to have for fuel and or tires?
We won't have to change tires, hopefully, but we will have to fuel about every 90 minutes. Excuse me. So that's also kind of when we're intending to do our driver changes as well. So we'll stop for fuel after about an hour and a half, and then we'll have to do a driver change somewhere in the same time frame. Part of the strategy, I guess, is timing that stuff with yellow flag cautions and such like that, so that we can minimize our time off track during a hot session.
So do you have somebody in the pits calling those shots, John?
Yeah. We have the team owner of this outfit. His name is Mike Gorman. He is the boss running all that, but our team is the 5 of us are really experienced racers, and so we kind of run our own strategy for our own car. So we'll call the shots on when to pit and all of that for our own car.
But if that person that
which
makes
is the way
that,
we've always done it. But.
if that person makes the call to come into pit, will he eventually go on to drive?
Mm-hmm. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, is it a driver that's making the call? Say you're driving the car and it's time to come in.
Right.
So one of the other drivers is going to take over the pit call to you.
Correct. Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Okay. And so
but that's the way we've always done it.
So in other words, everybody kind of takes a turn at calling the pit.
That's correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. They're just trying to. I'm just trying to understand how this works. If you don't have, a team leader, a boss, a chief mechanic, or something like that. So it's the drivers, and you all kind of rotate responsibilities for making the call to pit.
Right. That's correct. That's how we do it.
Okay.
So there's 5 drivers for just that car that you have, and then there's 5 cars on the team.
Yes.
So there's
Yes.
multitude of drivers down there.
Well, not all the other teams have 5 drivers. We just sort of did it that way for us. The other team that's driving the other M3 like ours only has 3 drivers. So those guys are going to get more track time, per guy. But that's just the way it worked out.
So with 5 guys, that means that you guys are going to be have seat time for your 90 minutes, probably twice during the race.
Yes, more or less.
More or less, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I got it.
That's good seat time.
Yeah, I mean, that's based on strategy as well too. So sometimes if somebody's doing really well and they're fast, and we want to leave them in, we'll leave them in for an extra amount of time just to get us further down the road. The 5 of us have been racing together for so long that it's not like we have to each do a precise amount of minutes, otherwise we get upset or anything. So it's just like, if we're doing good, leave the guy in, let him go a little bit longer. If a yellow flag comes out, we'll pit immediately and refuel the car and everything. So
it's still a team. You still function as a team
we're
to
still
win.
a team.
Yeah.
We're trying to get to the front. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm getting over a cold, so I'm a little bit choppy today. So
it's all right. Some heavy drinking tonight would cure that for tomorrow.
Yeah, you look like I need a drink.
Right? Yeah.
Just saying.
There might be a little bit of that later on.
Yeah. Okay.
Just medicinal purposes.
Well,
of
champagne to
course.
celebrate the win.
Well, there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what? So tomorrow is the big race. That's the one that starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and goes till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. What takes place today, since you had qualifying yesterday?
Right. No, today is an 8-hour race as well. So today's a big race and tomorrow's a big race.
Okay.
So right now, the cars on track right now are doing. We're 44 minutes into an 8-hour race right now. So it just started at 9 o'clock. Was green flag, and so we're going to go. We're going to go another 7 hours and 15 minutes here today.
So, John, you're in 7 hours and 15 minutes. What is it? How many laps you make, or a certain amount of time? What constitutes you as the winner at the end of this?
It's how many laps. Yeah, it's how many laps everybody can compete. I mean, it's a timed race, so the race will end at 5, no matter what. And it's just which car is in the lead with that many laps or however many laps at that point in time. So at 5 p.m. they drop the checker flag. If our car is done 500 laps and the next guy's done 499, we win. So but it's like IMSA racing, I guess, like the 24 Hours of Daytona professional racing, in that at the end of 8 hours, it's not uncommon for us to have the fastest 2 or 3 cars in the field all on the same lap still. So it's pretty close racing the whole day.
How many cars are on the track at the same time? At the start of the race, what's the car count?
57 cars. 57 cars started the race today.
Wow.
And how long?
14 cars in our class.
Gotcha. How long is the track?
Honestly, that's a good question. I don't know. Barber, I think, is about 2.8 miles, 2.7 miles long. A lap around here for our car in the wet is taking about 2 minutes and 4 seconds. But in the dry, that time should be more like a minute 45.
Yeah, about half of it, yeah.
Because the cars behind you, as they come by, they don't look real bunched up or anything.
No, they get spread out. It's a pretty good sized track. So 57 cars, and I'm sure we'll lose several during the day due to mechanical failures. There was one already that went off in the very beginning of the race, knocked his rear bumper off and stuff, but I think he's back out. But people have to stop for repairs and all that kind of stuff.
Do they issue penalties or anything, or time penalties?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a no contact series. So if you are involved in an incident like that, there'll be a review, and you'll either get docked. Typically, you'll get docked a lap or 2 for any kind of contact like that if they deem it was something that you caused or could have avoided.
Gotcha.
So they try to keep it as clean as possible.
Well, we find it fascinating, and we wish we were there with you.
Well, thanks. It's a lot of fun. I'm lucky to get to go do this.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, next time, there's nothing wrong with an in-wheel time road trip over to Birmingham, Alabama. We can make that in a day.
Sure, yeah.
We could drive for you.
Yeah, we'll do something.
Yeah, hey.
We could be your rah-rah crew.
Yeah, that's it. We'll tear it up, that's for sure. Well, John, it's great to talk to you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day over there, and we appreciate you. Barber Motorsports Park is John Lawson and the Pro-Am Auto Accessory Shop here in Houston. Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
You too.
Good, John.
How fun.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's the way to do it. I mean, he didn't have to tow his rig out there. He didn't have to worry about working
rent a
on
car.
it. Exactly. I didn't even know you could do that.
Come on, Mars. Come on,
Mars. Rent a race car. I've rented some cars that I turned into race cars. But
we just had a gentleman on that went to Europe and rented one.
That's right. Yeah, it's called Hertz. And he got out there and ripped it up. Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And don't forget those podcasts from your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk show continues right after this quick break. Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Discover automotive history at the 46th Annual Corvette Chevy Expo in Galveston, March 16th and 17th. See over 135 show cars from vintage to modern. Shop the diverse vendors, swap meet, and experience the craft show as you join in the celebration of car culture. Visit CorvetteChevyExpo.com for discount tickets. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too, sponsored by the world-famous Meekum Auction in Houston, April 4th through the 6th. Be sure to stop by and say hello Saturday, 10 to 1, March 16th at the Corvette Chevy Expo in Galveston. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, and we thank you so much for joining us today. And time now for the Cruise In calendar.
Yes.
Let me tell you something, man.
There's
there
tons.
I was just going to say.
Man.
You know, it's funny because there was a time that there were none.
I've got today's and I've got tomorrow's, but I could have 5 pages for each day.
Yeah, I know.
But due to time, here we go. We're going on right now from 10 a.m. to noon is the Chambers Creek Cruisin' Classic Car Show at 14940 Chambers Creek Drive in Willis, Texas.
What you talking about, Willis?
It worked. Another one from 10 to 2 today. Summer Creek High School Auto Tech Car Show. I don't know if Mike mentioned that before, but that's at the Summer Creek High School in Humble, Texas. Starting at noon this afternoon, you've got the Spring Cruise In at 22 Tumble in Houston, Texas. That's what it says. 22 Tumble.
22 Tumble.
22 Tumble.
Okay.
From noon today to 2, you got the Baytown Lions Club Annual Gumbo Festival and Car Show.
That's good.
I know.
You can cruise over there and get you some gumbo.
I know. I'm hungry right now. St. John's, the Evangelist Catholic Church. They're having that in Baytown, Texas. Again, today from 3 p.m. to 6, you got the second annual car show at our Spring Carnival in Brenham Woods Elementary School in Spring, Texas. And then for today, the last one I've got is 6:30.
So it's not in Brenham. It's the Brenham Woods.
It's Brenham. It's
okay.
Brenham Woods School in Spring.
Thank you. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. The Woodlands Cars and Coffee for a cruise in Woodlands, Texas. Now, tomorrow's a good one. You've got from 6:30 to 10:30 a.m. on Sunday, you've got the Woodlands Car and Coffee for a cruise. For a cause at Shop Market Street in the Woodlands, Texas. And then at 3 p.m., you got the weekly car meetup in Willis at where? Willis?
What you talking about?
Yep.
We already did
D&M True Value, Willis, Texas. Sundays at Freddy's in Houston. And then, of course, the big one tomorrow. What is it? It's Chrome and Coffee at the Avalon Diner in Stafford, Texas from 9 to 11.
Come see me and say.
There you go.
U.S. dealers have mixed feelings about how the partnership between Hyundai Motor and Amazon will affect the car buying experience and whether it will move the industry toward a more Tesla-like sales model. In other words, there's no dealer. More than half of the auto dealers and retailers who expressed their opinions in an automotive news survey view the plan negatively. Last November, Hyundai and Amazon announced plans to collaborate on an online vehicle retailing program that will allow shoppers to complete end-to-end car buying transactions on Amazon by the end of the current calendar year. Amazon also said it intends to extend the Hyundai car buying process to other brands. Retail giant said its goal is to transform the process into a click-to-buy shopping experience, eliminating the complexities and long hours involved in traditional car buying. All but a handful of dealers told Automotive News that the Amazon plan is certain to impact the way car sales are executed in the industry. Many dealers said they believe what Hyundai and Amazon are co-developing will lead to more of a direct-to-consumer sales model. Other respondents said the program will not be good for long-term customer service and will likely put pressure on dealer profit margins. The Biden administration on Thursday said it will investigate the national security risks posed by connected vehicles that use technology from China or other foreign adversaries. This from Automotive News. The action comes amid growing concerns from the Biden administration, Congress, and automakers over data security and the threat of Chinese automakers establishing a stronger presence in the U.S. market. The administration said new vulnerabilities and threats could arise if a foreign adversary gained access to a vehicle's data or systems, more specifically, the hardware and software that collect and transmit data wirelessly, such as telematics, advanced driver assistance technology, and for electric cars, battery management systems. Wow.
I know that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
To address those concerns, the U.S. Commerce Department on Thursday launched a regulatory process to seek feedback and gather information from industry stakeholders and the public as it considers potential rules or other actions that govern the use of certain information and communications technology in vehicles from China. Who thunk of that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I never thunk of that, but I don't think that way. But I will tell you that does raise some questions.
Well, it does, and and there's no mention about an angry spouse having access to hack into your car while you're out driving.
Well, now, see, you would think of that. I didn't think of that either.
But see, the administration is now getting involved, but that's always been since the onset of those questions and that type of hacking.
I agree. All right. We'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We will be back after this brief break.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invite you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.